USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Hey, Drilled listeners, happy Earth Day. I'm bringing you a little preview of a hearing that's happening in Congress today. The focus of that hearing is fossil fuel subsidies, what they are, why we have them, how they block climate action, and what can be done to get rid of them. This should be interesting because for years the industry has claimed that it doesn't actually get any subsidies. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to argue against getting rid of a thing they claim they don't have, but I'm sure we'll see how that plays out. I have with me today Rep. Ro Khanna. He represents Silicon Valley in Congress and has called this hearing. He's the chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform's Subcommittee on the Environment. The title of this hearing, which is the first one being held in Congress today, Earth Day, is titled "The Role of Fossil Fuel Subsidies in Preventing Action on the Climate Crisis." You might remember this being a big topic of conversation during the election. People were shocked that Joe Biden would suggest such a thing, and it does sound kind of shocking, but it also seems like a pretty obvious first step to doing anything on climate. According to Khanna, under President Trump, the fossil fuel industry received between $10.4 billion and $15.2 billion of direct pandemic relief funds. I'll stick a link to the hearing in the show notes. Highly recommend you tune in to that this morning. And in the meantime, here is a little bit of a sneak peek with Rep. Ro Khanna.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
I'm Ro Khanna. I represent Silicon Valley in the United States Congress. I'm the chair of the Environment Subcommittee for the Oversight Committee. And on Earth Day, we are having a hearing focused on ending fossil fuel subsidies as part of the infrastructure bill. President Biden, as you know, ran on eliminating all fossil fuel subsidies. And to his credit, his proposal, the infrastructure plan, has the elimination of those fossil fuel subsidies. So the hearing will drill down in exactly what does that mean, making sure that we're comprehensive in getting rid of these subsidies. And we want to insist that this is going to be part of infrastructure, that it's not taken out by a senator.
Got it. Can you explain what some of these specific subsidies are? Because I know the American Petroleum Institute likes to say the fossil fuel industry doesn't have any subsidies, so they should be fine with this.
Well, they have a lot of subsidies. There are subsidies for tax preferences that allow industries to drill that allow them to deduct for drilling costs. There is accounting. Basically, it's last in and first out accounting for fossil fuel companies that allow them to manipulate and take advantage. There's a cost of depletion, which they have used. There are offshore drilling leases that they can deduct the use of loss of royalties for. So I know some of this is technical, but when you look through the code, there are a number of these provisions.
Who is going to be speaking at the hearing? What's the plan for that?
So we have Greta Thunberg, which we're very excited about, and then we have a number of other experts who have really looked at what the fossil fuel subsidies are and what needs to be eliminated.
Is there any thinking around, the fact that this getting rid of fossil fuel subsidies could have a follow-on effect in terms of how investable fossil fuel projects are for banks?
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, here you have the government's actually lagging. I mean, you have the financial industry saying carbon is a risk and we ought to be getting out of carbon. Even, BlackRock with Larry Fink, and even some of the Exxon, even the new Exxon CEO is talking about how they need to diversify and get out of some of the high carbon areas. And so at the time where you have the private sector finally having one of these moments, you still have the government putting our thumb on the scale, favoring the fossil fuel industry. It makes no sense. And so what we're saying is, if you're not going to do the trillions of dollars to favor renewable energy, which we should, but if you're gonna do one thing, at least stop putting your hand on the scale on the side of fossil fuels. At least create a level playing field.
Right. Is there what has kind of the industry response been to this? I know this call is not new. It's been around for a while, but what are they kind of saying now about this push?
The call is not new. I mean, they have the same arguments that it's going to hurt jobs, that it's going to hurt business. What is new is that the president of the United States is putting it in their plan. And what is new is that we have a House of Representatives committed to passing it. That would be historic. And I think this may be one of the first hearings on comprehensively ending fossil fuel subsidies. But we will take on some of these myths about why this is not going to lessen jobs. If anything, it's going to incentivize the creation of a lot more jobs in, by the way, the very areas which have fossil fuel industry. There are more jobs to be had in making those areas environmentally sustainable than there are in the current jobs created by these subsidies.
I know one thing I always hear about this is concern that the price of gas will go up. How do you kind of answer that worry?
That is the biggest worry, and polling suggests that too. More than jobs, more than anything, is people's concern about the price of gas. And our view is that the studies show that this isn't going to have that impact, that the subsidies aren't large enough to have that impact on the price of gas. And to the extent that there is some increase, I think we ought to be providing a worker tax credit or some credit to mitigate that. And so there are ways to do it without raising the price of gas.
Yeah, I always think about, like, when I think about that there have been times in the past where, well, I don't know. I feel like there have been many times in the past where the industry will sort of artificially depress the price of gas themselves if they want to spur demand. So it makes me laugh a little bit when they bring that one up.
That's a great point.
Anything else that people should know about this? What can kind of the general public do if they want to learn more?
Well, we have 18 environmental groups around the country mobilizing behind this. So this is a big deal for the environmental movement. I believe it's the highest priority in the infrastructure bill, which is saying stop helping fossil fuels become a bigger presence. And the people listening and tuning in, one, they can tune into the hearing, share what the experts are saying, share what Greta Thunberg is saying. Two, they can insist that the end of fossil fuel subsidies has to be part of modern infrastructure, that is a non-negotiable.
Okay, well, thank you very much for talking with me.
Thank you.
Drilled is a critical frequency production. The show is produced and reported by me, Amy Westervelt. Our First Amendment attorney is James Wheaton. We appreciate the support of all of our listener members on Patreon. Your contributions are helping us to do work like this. You can find that link to support our work in the show notes. Patrons also get access to ad-free episodes and early releases of episodes. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.